Well, all right, I'm recording now. I'm going to do a 14-inch by 14-inch painting today. Open cup, what a surprise. I do open cups all the time. And I've already got my white base coat down. 4 colors I'm using are the white base coat, accordingly. Emerald green, that's that one right there. Cobalt blue hue, light blue, and some 24 karat gold. Those are 4 colors I'm going to use, and probably mix in a little bit of white here and there just to separate some of the colors. But I'm going to give this a shot. Blues and greens together with some gold. This was not a request or anything else. I'm just doing it because I like doing it. Open cup, like I said, that's the open cup. I'm going to start it out right in the middle. Put some white paint in the middle of it first, just to help it flow back out. And we're going to start out with cobalt. Yeah, I guess I'll start out with cobalt blue. Cobalt blue hue, actually, by Artist Loft. Paints are mixed with Floetrol, about 2 to 1, somewhere in that area. Might vary somewhat from one to another, but pretty much they're 2 to 1. We'll start out with some blue in the middle here. I don't necessarily want this to cover the canvas with color, because I want some of the white to come out too and separate some of them. And that's kind of what I'm using the gold for. The gold, well, the gold doesn't really separate anything, but it sure does sparkle within the colors. And it's one of my favorite colors, and I've said that 100 times if I've said it once. 24 karat gold is just fantastic. Alright, let's go with some light blue now. This will start seeping out probably in a little bit from underneath the open cup. So I get enough paint inside to help push it out. And you'll start seeing some little dots here in their color, which will turn into cells. And now some emerald green. Some of the blue starting to show up underneath the cup now. Maybe a little bit more white in here to, excuse me, help it move. And I'm going to do something a little bit different this time than my open cup. Normally I would pour it in. I see it's starting to seep out now. And move it around a little bit. I don't know exactly how I want to do this. I want it a little bit different than a normal open cup pour. Cross my fingers. I'll go back in with some more light blue here. I don't want it too dark. I wanted to keep this a little more vibrant and not so dark and foreboding on as some of my paintings are. Not all of them, but I do some that are seem like they're a little too dark in the long run. Then you can see some of the cells starting to form a little bit in here. Different colors within them. Put some more gold in there. I don't know if I've got these too thick or not. I hope not. They seem a little bit thick to me, but I guess it all will be known when it's all over with here. Back in with some more light blue here on top of that green. And I know I got a few people out there that'll watch this. Most people won't. They'll just look at the picture and say, oh, that's nice. But those of you that do watch the videos, I hope you enjoy it. I enjoy doing them. I just hope you enjoy watching them and seeing how they come out. Give it some more of this blue, cobalt blue hue here. Really getting some cool looking cells here. Don't know if they'll stay. By the time I start tilting paint off and moving it around, they're probably not going to stay as well as I would like them. This one over here has got gold and everything else in it. I probably should have mixed up just a little bit more white paint. But I'll go with what I've got. Maybe a little bit more white. Mix up just a little bit more white paint, so bear with me here, folks. If you hear noises in the background, don't worry about it. It's my wife taking care of laundry. This is the laundry room, the refrigerator room, the freezer room, the catch-all room, my quote studio unquote. Dryer's coming on. And you may hear her say something to me here in a minute. That's okay. If she does, she doesn't. Alright, let me finish up this gold in here. these cells showing up. Let's finish up the cobalt blue hue. Too bad it's not cobalt blue Norm. That way I could scream out Norm, but it's not. Cobalt blue hue. For those of you who don't know what that Norm reference is, from an old show called Cheers. Every time Norm would walk in, they'd holler out his name. It was kind of a staple with that show. And I put more white in here. Let that stuff move. Something a little bit different. Spin that around a little bit. A little twist in there. Just for giggles there. And we'll finish up this last little bit of light blue here. And finish up the emerald green. Alright, let's take this off and do a little torch into it and then start moving some of this paint around. Up for this, I guess. See what kind of configuration I can come up with. Looks like I got a paint booger there I got to get out. Going around in a circle here, hoping I'll keep some of those round cells without losing them. Bring this back to the middle here. A little bit off over this way. I lose some of those cells, unfortunately. green and that blue right in there. This part here I don't particularly like. You know, kind of bring it down to this corner and lose some of that. Much as I hate to lose the gold, but back to this other opposite corner here. It's a shame when I do these, I always lose so many of the cells. I kept some of them, but not as many as I would have liked. I'm torn whether I want to leave those corners white or not. Get that negative space. Maybe a little bit, but not as much. I probably won't. Trying to get it back down to cover up some of this corner over here. Sorry that it's out of frame. Can't really do much about it. I have to have the camera set up off to the side just because of the configuration of this room. I'll bring it back down this way somewhere. Well, it's not bad. Kind of cool looking of it. It's definitely not dark and foreboding. It's vibrant, and that's what I was looking for. Something with a little bit of life to it. Lively colors. I'm just going to leave those corners the way they are. Give it a torch here. The torching, for those of you who don't watch this stuff all that often, is to get rid of any little air bubbles that are in there. It just heats up the air around them and pops the air bubbles. Inevitably, you're always going to get some of those air bubbles. It does help bring some of the other ones up, some of the other cells up underneath. Alright, let me get us some drips up here. always want to do this after you pour something, because the paint will keep on moving, and as it comes off the edges, it tends to pull this down in various directions. It's always a good thing to get your drips off. Go through a lot of paper towels with this. It is a messy hobby. And that's all it is for me, it's just a hobby. I enjoy doing it. I've given many paintings away, sold a few, and that's okay. It's not my goal is to turn this into a business. I know some have, and I applaud them. I wish them all the luck in the world. Myself, at my age, it's kind of silly for me to even worry about a business. I'm retired, Air Force veteran, many years in the military. And this is what I do now. Alright, that's going to be what I'm going to leave it as. Get my gloves off here and I'll bring you in for a close-up. Hang on for a second. I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I turned off my bright light so I didn't get so much reflection. Just using the flash on my phone right at the moment. Look at that gold. Came out pretty nice looking, I think. I really didn't know what to expect. I had something in mind, but those of you that do this know that you can have all kinds of things in your head of how you want it to look when it's all said and done, but what actually comes out is sometimes quite drastically different than what you thought it was going to look like. It's kind of cool looking there. And as always, the gold has just gone through everything, which is okay. I like that. It's going to look like scales on something. They almost look 3D, just with the separation. I'm sure after this sits and dries and I look at it, and I'll find all kinds of objects in them. I always do. Some pretty blue combinations right in there. That part looks nice. I like that. Still maybe a little bit too much green down here, but that's okay. I'll take it. It's not a disaster. Alright, well, I hope you all enjoy the video. There'll be a couple of stills on here as well. Thanks for watching.